micdup.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
All
Nice,
right.
nice profile, Letterman.
Hey,
Yeah.
I gotta get a beer.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
Well, that's good. That's good. All right. Hey, welcome to another episode of Highlights from Lowlifes. Tonight we have Marty and Robbie and myself. Brent is supposed to join us, Teddy Bear, but it appears he has forgotten or he's indisposed somehow. I don't know. So we'll leave his window there in case he joins us. In the meantime, let's talk about villains again. We're really good at these villain shows, and these shows have taken a little bit longer than we thought they would. So tonight we're just going to concentrate on one division of baseball, one we haven't covered yet, but one that is fraught with villains. The American League West. So we got 5 teams in the American League West, including one that is playing in the American League Championship Series right now, the Seattle Mariners. Personally, I am rooting for the Mariners to win. Vonnie has just told us that she can't see any of her screens, and I would tell Vonnie to close the app completely and restart it, and you should be able to see us. Anyway,
It may be
we'll
a better
start
show
with-
if you can't see us.
Yeah, that could be too. Let's see. What before we get started, you guys, what is your thoughts on what you want to see for a World Series, and who you'd like to the teams you'd like to be in the World Series, and the team you'd like to win the World Series? Robbie, what are you thinking?
You mean out of what's left, or just
Out
in
of
general?
what's left.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see a Mariners and not the Dodgers World Series. And then my second choice would be the Blue Jays and not the Dodgers World Series.
Got it.
And I could root for the
So-
Brewers because, I mean, it's in the name, right? Brewers.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, beer. It's all about
Yeah.
beer. Yeah, I'm of the opinion I want to see somebody that hasn't been there year after year after year. Somebody that didn't necessarily buy their team, although I will say that the Blue Jays put a ton of money into that team. But the Dodgers payroll is out of this world. So rooting for the underdogs. I'm thinking Brewers and Mariners. What do you think, Marty?
I grew up in the Northwest, and a lot of family is still there, very close. So I'm rooting for the Mariners, even though I'm just looking at my phone here. The Blue Jays just put up a 5 spot in the 3rd inning. So, and now, hey, come on, they're a good ball club. You knew they were going to come back, but it's and I want the Mariners to be in the World Series against, of course, the Brewers. Who else? And it's funny that you brought this up because I heard something on the radio earlier today that the it has to go at least to Game 6 in the National League Series, so the games go back to Milwaukee, because the Dodgers stay at a place called the Fester Hotel. That's I got one laugh out of it. Okay. It's only about 4 miles away from the ballpark. It's not very convenient. It sounds that, except for Teoscar Hernandez, his wife kind of stood up and alerted the team that she doesn't want to go there. She doesn't want to, it's haunted. The hotel is haunted.
That is a famously haunted hotel.
Yes. Mookie Betts won't stay there. Even in a previously, Bryce Harper in 2013 said, when I went to bed, the clothes were on one side of the room. When I woke up, they're on the other side of the room. So,
Wow. Yeah, I know.
so
I know.
I don't. So it sounds kind of cool. So I at least like to see it
I'm
go to a game.
struggling though with this.
So,
These seem to be rich people problems, so I'm not too worried. If Teoscar Hernandez's wife doesn't want to stay at the hotel, then stay someplace else. You know.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And a
Why do we
poltergeist
have to know about
rearranging
it?
your wardrobe.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let us get started. I'm gonna use the easiest team on this list. The Houston Astros. Houston Astros were a long time National League team. Then they went to the American League for a while, and now they've settled back in to the American League West. They've had a recent run. Too loud. And Marty is bringing up what we know mostly for is their trash can banging in order to signify different pitches being thrown. So why don't you guys start off? Robbie, tell us who your primary villain is with the Houston Astros.
All right, I'm sticking with my approach of I am trying to identify the villain that own team's fan base considers a villain.
Correct.
It's easy for us looking on the outside to go, oh yeah, Altuve and Bregman and all those other guys that were involved in the sign stealing scandal. But I was doing some research and I went back to 2008. Sean Chacon, he was a pitcher with the Astros. The fan base basically hates him. He got into a screaming match with their general manager Ed Wade, and basically got his hands up on his throat, started to choke him, threw him down on the ground. The guy had been struggling. Chacon had been struggling, hadn't been playing well, hadn't been pitching well, and he had a really bad, almost a 9 ERA over like 3 or 4 starts, and he basically there was one game where he was on the mound and the pitching coach came out to talk to him and he turned his back to the pitching coach. So he was demoted to the bullpen from after that. And then after his choking incident with the general manager, he was placed on waivers the next day. He cleared waivers. His contract was terminated. The funny thing was, is if he could have just rode out the season, even in AAA, he would have made $1 million.
wow.
But the guy screwed up his contract, screwed up everything. He never pitched in the majors again. So that guy, the Astros fans were not a fan of him to start with. So yeah, he's the big villain to me, Sean Chacon.
All right. Okay, Marty, what do you got?
Well, there's the obvious, cheating scandal, and was it Altuve who hit the walk off or something like that, and that the hot thing at the time was rip the guy's jersey off, and he was, because he was hiding his listening devices. I guess he didn't want to have his. But I this one is a little personal to me, and because I knew this guy. I didn't know him personally, but I followed him in college. At the time I was working for Merrill on the peninsula, and I would go to a lot of the Stanford baseball games on because they would play on Tuesday and on Friday at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it would just run up, and there was a can't miss pitcher that pitched for Stanford. I'm trying to find the year that he just blossomed. 2011. He graduated from Stanford with a bachelor's degree. Mark Appel, Appel, Mark Appel. Can't miss. 10-4 record on the Pac-12. 2.2 ERA, struck out 130 batters and 106 innings. And he was the Scholar Athlete of the Year. This guy can't miss. So what does the Astros do? They pick him up um, in the 2013 draft and signed him right away. Sent him down to uh, minor leagues for some. I lost my notes. I'm sorry. A little seasoning. Came up, made the big club in 2021. So big, hey, he's on. He's in. He was on. Replaced someone who got on the COVID list. Came out with was 5-0 record in AAA before he got called up with a 1.61 ERA. This guy can't miss. His 6 appearances in his rookie campaign, he had 174 ERA, 5 strikeouts in 10 innings, and then went on the injured list with an inflamed elbow. And by the end of the season, he wasn't even on the 40-man roster anymore.
Yeah.
Went to Philadelphia and tried to put it all together. Never did. Wound up retiring from baseball. And I don't know if he was a villain, but he was one of the great pitchers that couldn't miss, was going to help the Astros, and just flamed out. And it was too bad because he was with Stanford, and he grew up in San Ramon, which is the next neighborhood down from where I grew up as a kid in California. But bummer. And so that's my villain. Or just add anybody on that the cheating scandal team. Wasn't AJ Hinch was managing that team, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he? Yeah. So he survived that all right.
So
Yeah.
I Robbie makes a good point. Did the Astros fans hate these guys or revile these guys? And no, I mean they love Altuve, right or wrong. They love Altuve.
Yeah.
But I would question whether or not they are in lockstep with some of the other guys that were associated with this. Like Hinch seemed to imply that he knew what was going on, but there was nothing he could do about it. That's kind of weak. Beltran, he was kind of rode out of town after that. Yes, he was a free agent, but they made no effort to go sign him. And he lied about it at first, and then came clean. But the guy that I really struggled with, and I can't remember his name now, was the GM or the owner, both of them in lockstep, basically saying, we're going to get to the bottom of this. This is not the kind of culture we want in our organization. We're going to work well with Major League Baseball to root out any evil here. And when we find that evil, we're going to punish it. And to this date, they've done absolutely nothing to take care of the quote unquote problem that they were going to get down to the bottom of it. It's kind of like the Epstein files. We're not going to do anything, because let's just move on. Let's change the subject. And so I think in this case, my villain would be the Houston Astros ownership and management, basically taking no responsibility for anything and acting as if they were taken by surprise. So that would be my villain there.
People still really hate that team. They love to hate him. It's like Altuve's the only guy left.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much left from when that happened. I mean,
No, it
Carlos.
Yeah, Altuve's it. I mean, and Dusty, with his impeccable reputation, kind of cleaned that franchise up. But people still just hate the Astros.
Carlos Correa still gets booed, and he's on a different team. So,
Yeah,
and Bregman, he gets booed on a different team. So. All right, let us move to the second team on the list, which would be your Los Angeles Angels, who were also the California Angels at one time, or the Anaheim Angels. Yeah, So that team was an expansion team in the early '60s. Storied franchise, been there a long time. Supposed to be thrown, they throw a lot of money today at superstars, and they still have nothing to show for it. But who are the villains of the Los Angeles Angels? Marty, why don't you start this one off?
Okay, give me a second because this guy was so vile that I have problems talking about him. As a matter of fact, I was rather had to consult my my pastor this morning to see if I could dig deep down to touch the vileness of what this guy did.
And that would be the Reverend Jack Daniels.
Yes.
Ranch Wilder. I know, don't jump out. I know you all agree. Ranch Wilder, who, on the words of a little kid, blabbed to the entire, because he was the announcer then at the Angels, and he blabbed to the entire kids about the manager, Roger Cox. I can't even. Confessing there's angels in the outfield. And he had the manager suspended. And they're just trying to win ball games. And it's incredible. I can't even talk about it.
Of course, for those of you listening who may not have seen the movie Angels in the Outfield, this is completely fictional, but
now,
I'm sure
that was kind
I'm
of
sure it's
there's
real
a
life for Marty.
but again, that was fun. But this one is kind of, and it's a kind of, am I the villain now for bringing up Donnie Moore?
Geez, I tried to stay away from that because I'm a good person.
Maybe maybe I'm the villain on that. So
yeah. So go ahead and tell our fan base, why would Angel fans not like Donnie Moore? For those who might not know who Donnie Moore is.
Game 5 in the 1986 American League Championship Series, they were taking on the Boston Red Sox. And Donnie Moore just happened to be the pitcher at the time who threw the ball, and Dave Henderson, who later became famous with the A's. And I got to know Dave by attending his fantasy camp. With 2 strikes on him, put that ball into the outfield. Into the seat, to cheap seats, and that propelled Boston into the World Series. And Donnie Moore was kind of the scapegoat. And whether it was, and this is the truly sad part, whether he put too much pressure on himself or his demons, or things later on, but he wound up taking his own life. Just a couple of years later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a terrible story, but it's a story I wanted to bring up just to say that we all have a great time and yuck it up every week and the whole bit. But sometimes we take our sports a little too seriously, and maybe Donnie did that. We got a couple. We laughed at a couple of plays already in the playoffs. The Philadelphia pitcher that tried to throw home instead of the first base, and the Brewer batter that all he had to do was let that ball hit him, but he dove out of the way and it brought in the tying run. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now. But we have a great time with sports, but sometimes let's realize it's just that, sports. So
yeah,
thanks. Yeah.
All right. What do you got, Robbie?
Well, we'll go from the guy that took it too seriously to a guy that didn't take it serious enough. Um, 1962, the Angels were a new team in the American League, and their fans kind of came out of the gate with some hope. They could hit a little bit, not power, but they had a lot of guys that could slap the ball around the field, and kind of reminded me of the Brewers when you read about them. They took extra bases and just played really good fundamental baseball, and they had a couple of good pitchers. Dean Chance was one, and they had this kid that came out of the gate at 5-0 named Bo Belinsky. And old Bo Belinsky got a little bit into his own success. Um, he pitched the first no hitter in Angels history. Started out 5-0, and started hanging out with the Rat Pack and hanging out with Anne Margaret and Tina Louise, as we know Ginger from the Gilligan's Island show. He was running around with those people, and suddenly he couldn't pitch very well anymore. He only won 5 more games that year, finished 10-11. I think the fans started getting a little fed up with his Hollywood attitude and his Des Moines, Iowa ability. So he struggled again in his second season, got sent back to the minors. Spent most of the year there, but he kept nightclubbing and womanizing, and he ended up on the gossip pages of the LA Times more than he did on the sports pages. In 1964, he came back and he started off pretty well. But then in Washington against the Senators, he got in an altercation with a sports writer and ended up decking the guy. And that was it. They sent him to the minors. Bo Belinsky refused the assignment, and that was the end of the career for Bo Belinsky. And I think the Angels fans thought they might have something good coming out of the gate with Belinsky and Chance and that little scrappy team. But it turns out Belinsky kind of took down the whole team with him, and a lot of people have never forgiven him for that. I think the Angels toiled for many years, and you could look back and say, "Yeah, that's where it started." Bo Belinsky.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. If anybody wants to look him up, that guy, he dated just about everybody in Hollywood at that time,
Yep.
um, and spent the final years of his career just bouncing around from team to team.
I think yeah, to the outsider fans, it's a great story. It's hilarious. It's funny. The whole thing. To the Angels fans, it was a heartbreaker. They
Oh
thought
yeah.
they had the next Sandy Koufax, and that was before Koufax was Koufax.
All right, I've got a good one. A lot of the ones that we're going to mention tonight um, are players who signed big contracts um, and then just disappeared. Their talent just disappeared overnight. Um, the Angels have always been willing to spend money when they needed to. Um, they throw a lot more at hitting than they do at pitching, and maybe that's part of the problem. But they uh, honed in on a shortstop a few years ago that was going to take them to the top. This was a guy that was going to stabilize the infield and not be an automatic out at the plate. He had done well with the Reds, and the Angels saw something there. Zach Cozart. Cozart signed a big money contract with the Angels and basically became a very poor hitting utility infielder. He was gone within 2 years of that contract being signed. He did resurface with the Giants briefly. I remember him coming through town, maybe for a month or so. But his career was over long before it should have been. I have no idea what happened because he was such a good player with the Reds, such an up and comer. But a lot of the guys will tell you that the pitchers will figure something out with respect to a batter, and if that batter can't make the right correction, it spreads like wildfire through the
Yep.
league. Oh, this guy can't hit a curveball or a slider or whatever. Just throw him that, and you got him out every time. I think that's what happened to this guy, and he's been gone from baseball for quite some time now. So I think Angels fans will not remember him fondly. So, all right, we are through the Astros and Angels. Let's move on to our former local team here in the Bay Area, the Oakland A's, who are now the kind of Sacramento A's of Oakland, or the A's of Sacramento, soon to be the Las Vegas A's. They were also in Kansas City before that, and in Philadelphia long before that. So we've got lots of time to look up on this thing. Who might be the villain of the team? Robbie, I see that JC has put in a comment for his famous
Yeah.
Oakland villain.
Let's play it out. It looks like a good one.
Gents, looking good. Where's the teddy bear?
Yeah.
Hey, when you get to Oakland, I want to do Charles O'Finley.
Yep.
He tried to make Vita Blue change his first name to True.
Yeah.
That is a villain in my book.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
totally
And-
agree. I mean, yeah, that's an owner that, I mean, he was disrespectful to virtually everybody he came in contact with. So, yeah. All right, Marty, why don't you start us off on your A's?
Okay.
You're a fan of the A's. What was your villain there?
Well, it was already brought up. It was Charlie Finley, and then because he did have some interesting ideas of. He brought the club in and to Oakland and tried to do some things with tried to experiment, but it was always just kind of cheap and juvenile. And hear me out. He wanted to bring in the orange baseball so you can see it better at night. Okay, all right. So we paint the baseball. Big deal. The white shoes. Okay, that kind of caught on for a while, and that was kind of cute and everything. But all right. I had a chance, if I can tell a story, back in the mid '70s during the run of the A's championships, the 3 in a row. I had a chance to be there and watch those World Series games. Not because I had a ticket, because the teacher of electronics at my high school was the guy that ran the high tech scoreboards for the mid '70s. It was high tech. They need, and if I tell this story, it's true, but part of it is supposed to be funny, just because the lack of technology back in those '70s. They hired us. Well, we volunteered because we were part of the Letterman's Club. You played baseball or football, and you had the Letterman's jacket back in those days. So we had us wear those jackets, and we were up in the press box, that whole row of press box, and they had the press from all over the country, and we were the press runners. If they had a story they could type up, they gave it to us, and we had to walk it back to just next to the PA announcer, and he did a teletype the story onto to UP or whatever it was. I mean, that's kind of the old school things. But we did a few other things, and this is where we get into Charlie Finley. Charlie Finley has got his team in the World Series, but he was cheap. If you think back, maybe you guys are too young, but I would think back that they would have shots of the A's dugout during the game, and everybody behind had a pennant. Part of our job was to literally, there's 28 seats in this row and 27 seats in this row, and 20. The part of our job for the game was put the pennants together. And right before the game, we would pass out the pennants to everybody seating there and tell them to wave the pennants. After the seventh inning stretch, you know what our job was? Collect them back. That's not yours. Give them back. Give them back. Give them back. We were given a lunch. I mean, they had a boxed lunch for all the news reporters, and we there said if anybody left over, if you want one, if there's one left over, you can have it. It was the same thing every day. Disgusting chicken salad sandwich, a stale cookie, and a rotten banana. Every freaking Now, my father later told when I told the story would say, "Hey, was it a free meal? Yeah, so don't bitch. Okay, fine." But there you go. That was, and that was the story with Charlie Finley. He made history with baseball. He usually at the losing end of players' contracts or arbitration or something like that. But so I got mixed reaction with the guy. He was an interesting fella, but he was a cheap one. He was something else. So
yeah. I thought you were going to break into a rendition of Mr. Grinch, but okay. All right, Robbie, who do you got for the A's?
First, I want to go back to the Angels real quick because
Hey,
I
did I
thought,
miss anything?
oh my goodness,
Oh, yeah. You're right on time.
look
You're
at
right
Bo
on time.
Belinsky showing up.
How's Don Wells?
Oh, I did all this research.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for showing up, Teddy Bear. It looks like most of our calls were worried about you. We sent people over to your house to knock on the door.
I know, I was fighting him down the street.
Mhm.
Oh,
All right, Robbie, you were
having a
saying about
socks
the
in a
Angels.
sandbox.
Nice.
Oh, socks in a sandbox. All right.
Yes.
So I wanted to go back real quick to the Angels because we haven't really been doing honorable mentions on this, but I really had to flip the coin between Bo Belinsky and this guy because, the four of us on here, probably a lot of the people listening, we lacked the talent to play Major League Baseball, but we all had the heart and the desire and would have given whatever we had to have been there and played that game. And Anthony Rendon comes out after signing a $250 million contract and says, baseball's not all that important to me.
Yep.
So
We would kill to
there's
be in that position.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and he still doesn't seem to get it. Somebody came out with a mock bobblehead. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's Anthony Rendon in a wheelchair because he's always injured. And I mean, obviously, it wouldn't hand those out at actual Angels games, but they were a hot commodity on the internet for a while.
Oh, I'll bet.
All right, Robbie, tell us your Oakland A.
I had to. I think the one is really obvious, John Fisher. Everything that he's done to that storied franchise, it's horrible. It's disrespectful to baseball, disrespectful to the Oakland fans. It's a travesty, and Manfred and the crew in charge of Major League Baseball now just let it happen and did not protect the best interests of the game. So he's the one. And then I think Canseco was kind of a pretty big embarrassment for that team too. By the time he left, he was a real problem for them. But John Fisher is got to be the most evil villain of the storied franchise of the A's.
Yeah. I think you got it. You hit it on the head. What he's done is terrible, and for some reason, Major League Baseball let him do it.
Yeah, and they're still letting him do it.
Yes, which is even worse in my opinion.
Yep.
All right, Brent. Marty chose Mr. Finley. Robbie chose Mr. Fisher. If you want to choose those guys, that's perfectly understandable. But who'd you come up with for the A's?
Well, I'm going to do the other half of the Bash brothers. I'm going to go with Mark McGwire.
Ah.
Yeah. He was one of the baseball's biggest stars and later involved in one of the biggest scandals that we had with the steroids and stuff. And he wasn't as flamboyant as Canseco was, but he left a marker in on his legacy with the steroid thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I'll finish it out. And I know we talked about, do the fans revile this player or this manager? And I don't know if that's the case with McGwire or the guy I'm going to choose. I think most of the fans love the players because they played great for their team. The fact that they got caught using steroids, maybe other fans don't like it, but most of the A's fans I talked to, they acknowledge that both McGuire and Canseco used steroids. They kind of like, oh well,
Yeah.
they did do what they needed to do, type thing. I'm choosing Reggie Jackson,
Yeah.
Oh,
who
I had him on my
might
honorable
be,
mention.
yeah, he might be the face of the Oakland A's
Mm-hmm.
for what he did for that team. He made them legitimate. He made them a powerhouse. But I think he's one of the first guys I've ever heard that started to refer to himself in the third person. Started basically acting as if he was better than everyone else and didn't have to do the things that other people had to do. He stopped hustling in the field. It got worse when he went to New York, but it started here in Oakland when he started um, acting as if, I'm just here to hit the home runs. Everything else is a bonus for you people. And he was disrespectful to teammates at times, and especially managers. Because during his time with the A's, they went through a lot of managers, and I'm guessing he had a lot to do with that. So he's my Oakland A.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Teddy Bear, you're here just in time for our beer segment. Robbie, take it away.
Well, as always, the 110th episode of Highlights from Lowlifes is sponsored by Almanac Beer Company in Alameda, California. They are one of America's true great craft brewers. We had the pleasure of doing our 100th anniversary show on the 108th episode or whatever it was.
It was a kick.
in Alameda at the brewery. We had a blast. And as always, we all talk about their different beers. They're just packed with flavor, whether they're light and fresh and easy to drink, or they're rich and deep and full flavored. Everything's just got it's just a great nuance of flavor to them. So we talk about the different beers, and this should come as no surprise at this point that I'm still horking the Rocktoberfest. It's that time of year. The beer is freaking delicious. It's got a lot of dark flavors to it, and yet it finishes really nice and clean, and refreshing, actually. So this is a great beer. If you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend the Rocktoberfest. What you guys drinking? Brent
I've
had
got
something beer.
the socks in a sandbox, and
Ah,
they've done it again. I'm not much of an IPA drinker, but they've done it again, making an IPA taste not like an IPA, but just a very flavorful beer. It's not too hoppy, and I had it and got it when we were at the show at Almanac. Haven't seen it in any of the stores that I can shop in, and it's just a good one. You got to try it if you can find it. Buy it.
Good call.
yeah. Hey, Robbie, why can't we see that one in the stores?
I think that one's only available at the brewery and in the local market right now.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
The Socks in the
okay.
Sandbox, they have a sandbox there that kids can play with around the
Yes.
corner off to the side, which is great. Get the kids out of the way. But yeah, so the Socks in the Sandbox is clearly the adult in there trying to get the kid out.
Oh,
All
my
right,
kids
Marty, what are
already
you
out.
drinking?
well, I get the Teddy Bear was all over it with the Socks in the Sandbox. I didn't discover that till we got to the brewery a few weeks ago, and I brought home a bunch of it, and it is a great beer, for the exact reason that Teddy Bear said. Again, but I don't like IPAs, and neither do I like Hefeweizen. But once again, Almanac makes me feel like what I am, a dumb fool, because this is it. Because I'm drinking the Hugs, which is their Hefeweizen, which is not heavy, which is not. It doesn't leave that wheat aftertaste in your mouth. It's got all the flavor of the Hefeweizen, and it goes down really smooth. So once again, Almanac knocks it out of the park. They keep coming out with these great beers, one after the other, and I have to drink them. It's either that when I can take my foot out of my mouth.
All right. I too am drinking the Hugs tonight.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
As I proclaimed to both Marty and Robbie earlier, it is officially fall. I have covered the air conditioner. I have swept the leaves off the porch. I'm wearing a sweater and long pants, and I'm drinking the beers that I equate with fall. And this hugs Hefeweizen and some of the IPAs that we have been drinking from Almanac. They all fit in place perfectly
Yes.
with my fall drinking schedule. So here's to the hugs Hefeweizen.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I mean
Almanac.
that is a
Here's-
great beer. It is a true Bavarian style
Yes,
Hefeweizen,
it
not the
is.
American style that's all cotton mouthy and heavy.
Mhm.
It's a great beer.
And cheers to your drinking schedule. That's
Indeed.
awesome.
Yes, everybody should have a drinking schedule. I'm just saying.
Well, anyway, if you're around Alameda, or actually, you should plan a special trip just to get out there and see the brewery, Alameda Beer Company. It's a great place. Super, super fun people. Great layout, great setup there. Kid friendly, dog friendly, beer friendly. A couple of
Food
different
friendly.
food
The food
options.
carts they got there are terrific.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So make the trip out there. They are legitimately one of America's best craft brewers, and we're proud to be sponsored by them. And if you go there, make sure you tell her you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlife show, and they may take pity upon you.
Yay.
All right. Okay, we got 2 more teams to do, and we've got 4 of us now with Teddy Bear joining us.
Yay. Sorry about that, folks.
Got
No
us
worries,
off
no
the hook.
worries.
Thanks for showing
We
up.
could let Brent, name his other 3 real
Oh
quick.
yeah, we'll go
without
back
the story.
when we do the honorable mentions. We'll let him
Okay.
name his for the other 2 teams. But let's move on to the current playoff team, the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners are in a close battle with Toronto. Well, it's not so close anymore. Toronto's beating them 8-2 right now in Game 3 of the ALCS.
Oh,
But the Mariners were an expansion team that joined the American League in 1977. So there's plenty of data to work with as to who might be the greatest villain on this team. Robbie, start us off. Who do you got for the Mariners?
I think, there's not a lot of bad guys that have played for the Mariners, in terms of the fans anyway. They have a small but loyal fan base that's stuck with the team for years, and there's a lot of bandwagoners this year. But we can talk about that on another episode. Um, the For me, I think the guy that was probably the first dose of reality player for a lot of the young Mariner fans. It's hard when you have a favorite player playing on your team, the team that you love, and they're really more concerned about money than what's being built around them. Um, Alex Rodriguez really did Seattle dirty. He said a lot of bad things about the team. He said a lot of bad things about the town. And then he obviously fled for the big money contract in Texas, despite the fact that they were building a powerhouse team that could have been dominant for years. He left that team. And, I don't know if a lot of people are aware, he is reviled in Seattle because after he signed that mega deal with the Rangers, he wrote a letter to the Boeing Corporation encouraging them to move their company
oh
from
God.
Seattle to Dallas. So, you're not going to win the hearts and minds of a team that you played for when you do that kind of crap. So I think A-Rod is universally reviled in Seattle. He's my
Yeah,
villain.
yeah. That's a. I don't want to say that's an easy pick, but yeah, I think most people will gravitate towards that.
What am I? Bill Stein drove his car into a ditch once. That's not going to get anybody's attention. Dick Pole apparently was a lovely guy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So JJ Putz.
yeah. All right, Brent. What do you got for the Mariners?
Well, this was a tough one because they're kind of a low key team. They haven't had any like Puigs or Brzezinskis, players like that. But I did find somebody, and he kind of popped up all over the American League West. But he played for Seattle with 1 year, or for 1 year, excuse me. And Milton Bradley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was kind of a dick wherever he played.
Yeah, that's kind of what I came to the conclusion here. He's known for his, ejections and shouting matches and confrontations with the umpire, but he was suspended for arguing with the umpires and faced with legal trouble, and then he had some domestic violence convictions after leaving baseball. So yeah, he was kind of a big Richard there. Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. All right, Marty,
Webby,
what do you got for your Seattle guys?
Well, we have to look at the larger picture here, because I remember this happening. I said I guess I am a closet Mariners fan. I grew up there as a kid, got to see the Pilots. So that my sister is an avid baseball fan, and to see she's having a tough time tonight. What is it, 8-2? You now said.
Yeah, 8-2.
Yeah, but the Mariners a couple of times tried to rebuild and have a challenging team that would challenge for the pennant. And they brought in this one guy, and I've said it in a larger circles because let's go back before he was a Mariner. He was with the Angels, and in the pivotal Game 6 in 2002 against the Giants, he hit a 3-run home run. That was the comeback, and the Angels won and forced a Game 7. So when he got to Scott Spezio, when he got to Seattle the next year, signed a big 3-year. Thank you. So a 3-year contract to be the third baseman for the Mariners. In his first spring game, he went to field a pop-up in the bullpen, tripped over the pitcher's mound, strained his back, but and it was turned a bad sprain. But originally, the doctors could have said this was something that could set back his entire year. But I tell you, but until then, Spezio had a rather clean life. But he had some bad feelings about the Angels. Thought they forced him out. He found out, and personally, his wife was going to leave him. So he started to hit the bottle. And between that and getting back into the lineup, he hit 198 in 142 games in 2005. A nice little quote here. As I drank, I made bad decisions. And then it started getting easier to make bad decisions. Guy sounds like me. I mean, for example.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess that's why I had and then he was out of baseball within a year. So again, Scott Spezio was my choice. The guy he had everything going for him, and it pissed it all away with alcohol. So
wow.
So
well, I did not know that story.
Yeah.
I kind of hate his dad, Ed Spezio, for having him in the first place so he could hit that home run against the Giants in the World Series.
Yeah. He should not have been allowed to.
Yeah, Ed Spezio's on my list of most hated players.
Funny you said that there, because a lot of the information I got was from an article where him and his dad are going through Cooperstown and talking about it. Then they share the story. He kind of sounded, you had to take it very, and maybe I read too much, but I was reading certain words that Dad kept saying, that the kid had to do this and had to do that. He was one of those helicopter parents. I really, so I just, anyway. So I just wondered why, when things started going bad, he just collapsed. So whatever. Anyway, that's my thought. Anyway,
I will choose a Mariner who probably isn't hated by the fan base, but I saw him as kind of a clown, and I don't think he contributed to the Mariners winning. You might argue that he was entertaining for some really bad Mariner teams, but I'm going to go with Lenny Randle. Lenny, you guys probably know him best as the guy who blew a ball foul by getting down on his hands and knees and blowing on the third base line to blow it foul, which is, of course, is illegal. and he was called for it. But he had a temper. And if he thought you were doing him wrong, if he couldn't get back at you then, he would find a way later in the game. There is a great YouTube video, if you can find it. Lenny Randall's up against a pitcher who has thrown inside a few times during the game and pushing Randall off the plate. So Randall's batting left-handed at the time, and he drags a bunt down the first base side, right down the line, that the pitcher has to field. And instead of running down the first baseline, Randall runs smack dab into the pitcher, who is much bigger than him, and just bowls him over, which creates a big fight down at first base as he runs the rest of the way. But yeah, I think he sent a clear message to the pitcher. I don't care what the score is. You're not gonna treat me wrong. I'm sure there was probably better ways to do that, as both the pitcher and the batter were thrown out of the game. But Lenny Randall's my little villain there for the Mariners. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. We move to our final team in the American League West, the Texas Rangers, who before that were the Washington Senators.
They were?
Yes, they were. The Rangers have a storied past. Lots of guys on this team that you could point a finger at. I'm going to start this off because this guy, he was one of my favorite players at one time. I just thought he was just a smooth player who did everything right. And then you come to find out later, he's just a big liar. I'm going to start with Rafael Palmeiro.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Number one.
I mean, we all have seen the Senate hearings on baseball, and I don't know what the Senate has to do with baseball, but calling these baseball players in to embarrass them in front of the country. And Palmeiro stood up proudly and pointed his finger at all these congressmen, congresswomen, and said, "Hey, I did not use PEDs. I did not use steroids." And then all the evidence comes out, and he was one of the biggest cheaters there was.
Yeah.
And to baseball's credit, Palmeiro has been basically wiped from the game. You don't hear about him anymore. He's smart enough to not to talk anymore, kind of like McGuire. Just stay out of the limelight. You're not going to get any coaching jobs or managing jobs or commentating jobs in baseball. You are blacklisted. You made your money. You cheated. Just go away. Yeah. So he's my Texas Ranger villain. All right. Teddy Bear, what do you got?
Oh, well, I had Rafael Palmeiro and I had a couple others here, but we had a guy that he was a very talented pitcher for the Rangers, and in a 2005 incident, he assaulted a cameraman before the game, and that was Kenny Rogers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
That guy was a jackhole.
Yeah, he kind of got his thing in the ringer there, and we haven't heard much of. Didn't do it very well after that. So anyway, Kenny Rogers was my guy, but I also, Milton Bradley's on the Texas Rangers too.
Yes.
Kenny Rogers.
It's amazing how many different teams these guys go to, and they think they can control them. Rogers was that way. Gosh, there's another gentleman I talked about last week, and I forgot about it because he was just Everett.
Carl Everett, yeah.
Carl Everett, yeah, same mode. Yeah.
And a lot of these guys get moved around like that is because I think they're kind of a clubhouse cancer and they don't want them around, so they kind of dish them off and pass them around.
We can contain them. Yeah, we can deal with them. No. Yeah.
Anywho,
All right.
Webby, what do you got on this one?
Oh, I did
Oh, I'm sorry.
Palmeiras, so let's go
Robbie?
to Robbie.
Robbie, yeah.
All right, the first time so far in the villains story that we've been doing, I'm returning to the same guy.
Okay.
After destroying Seattle and going to Texas, he had 3 very good years in Texas, but never won the hearts and minds of the fans. The team just was not very good. Michael Young, being the consummate pro that he was, moved positions so this guy could play where he wanted, even though he was not as capable of where he was. I have a lot of respect for Michael Young, just as a side note. But yeah, and in Texas, I love it. A-Rod is just such a jackass everywhere he goes. We just talked about Palmeiro staying out of the spotlight, avoiding the public. A-Rod is the same issues as Palmeiro, and he can't stay away from the cameras. He's doing the
Yeah.
commentating. He's on Shark Tank and all of that. But my favorite thing is the people in Texas call him A-Royd. So,
Yeah, yep.
and when he left, the Rangers got better. So put
Yeah.
it all together, will you?
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
All right,
So that
Marty, what do
leaves
you got?
What do you got?
Marty.
Marty?
What year was it? 2012 when the Giants beat the Rangers in the
10, 2010.
2010.
10.
Okay, all right. So I get I know about the other guys, and I was trying to think what the big name to put the Rangers over the top, and they because they were, like I said, 2010 they were in the World Series. After 2013, they finished second place, just 5 games out. So they're just right there. They just need the one person to plug in to get them over the top. And they got the guy, cost them a lot of money, even traded an all-star way to get Prince Fielder.
Oh, wow. Prince Albert.
And they traded away some nobody by the name of Ian Kinsler to Detroit. Right. But in Detroit 2 years earlier, he signed a 9-year, $214 million contract. So Texas had a lot invested in bringing in Prince Fielder to play first base. Here's the guy that's going to put us over the top. We're gonna be in the playoffs for years to come. After all, he hit 30 home runs every year from 2007 to 2012. He maybe in 2013, that was the offseason of the 2013 when they made the trade. He slumped off a little bit. It's only 25 home runs, but okay, all right, fine. He missed the entire next season with neck surgery. The entire season. He came back in 2015, played 158 games, hit 308, okay, 98 RBIs, but only 23 home runs. Got comeback player of the year. All right, we're building here. We got something going, okay, right? At the age of 31 in 2016, he hit 219 through August, 7 home runs, was on the disabled list because of his neck issues again, and wound up at the end of the year holding a big press conference. He's retired. He's hurt. He can't do it. The big bust, putting all this money up to get this guy to put him over to the top. He had one decent year and then he was gone. Hey, this stuff happens, but it's notable because of his legacy of Prince Fielder before he got to Texas, but he sure as heck flamed out. So he made my list.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We have covered the American League West, except for we did not hear what Teddy Bear thought of the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh.
So give us who you think is the villain on the Astros, And just a fair warning, we covered almost the entire garbage pail incident, but that's okay.
You want me to hit it again? You want me to hold it up and
Yeah,
hit it
yeah,
again?
yeah. Marty actually
Oh.
reenacted the garbage can.
Oh yes,
so that was good.
bam, bam, bam. I know. Yeah.
And then the Los Angeles Angels. So what do you think on those two teams?
Well, being a bad boy, Roger Clemens was very arrogant and obstinate, and wanted to intimidate you, kind of like Nolan Ryan did. I also had Alex Bergman and not so much Jose Altuve, because I think he just got caught up in all of that stuff, and he just kind of went along with it. But that was my guy, is Alex Bergman.
Clemens is a great pick.
Oh, you mean Bregman, right?
Bregman, yeah.
Yeah.
Clemens is a great one too, because remember, he wouldn't travel with the team on road trips. He had that written into his contract.
Stayed home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
As far as the Angels go, going way back, and this is kind of what JC would pick maybe, but Bo Belinsky back in '62, he was kind of the Angels' bad boy. He was a flashy left-hander that came out became a Hollywood celebrity overnight after throwing his no-hitter, and he started dating movie stars like Anne Margaret and Mimi Van Doren. But he was kind of they called him the Playboy pitcher.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's my Anaheim guy.
Those are good ones.
Great pick. Great pick. It's like great minds think alike, Brent.
Oh, did you pick him too?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one. Unfortunately, I was having some technical difficulties. So we had to patiently wait through them.
Hey, we got to
All
check
right.
in from Tiger.
Oh,
Cool.
Hey fellas, good show. Tiger here. I'm stuck in bumper to bumper traffic in downtown San Francisco, watching you guys drink your almanac brews, and I'm getting really thirsty. I need to get home so I can crack open an ice cold Rocktoberfest.
there you go.
I think we have a new nickname for Clip-On. His name could be the Villain.
Yeah.
What do you think? Keep it up.
Hey, and for
All right.
those of you at home following the Big Juicy saga, he has returned home from his hospital stay. So we're very happy.
Yes.
If he's listening right now, he's probably more than excited that we brought him up. So anyway, always thinking of you, Big Juicy.
Yep.
Yep.
It was good to see him looking so good.
Yep. Got to go up for a visit soon. All right, we got a few minutes.
Okay.
How about some honorable mentions on the Astros? Any there that stick out?
Ooh, where'd my Astros go?
I was going to mention Cesar Cedeno, who
Oh,
was going to become the next coming of God with the Astros. Signed a long-term contract with them and became basically a fourth outfielder after that. But he did upgrade his wardrobe and was known to wear the finest on road trips, but never became the player that everybody thought he would.
Josh Reddick was on my list too. He was always wearing wrestling belts in the celebrations and blasted Careless Whisper during batting practice and taunted.
Wow.
He taunted haters online, and the comic book bad boy energy.
Yep. Okay. How about the Angels? Got any good Angels that could have been villains as your honorable mentions? One that came to mind for me was C.J. Wilson, starting pitcher who signed another long-term contract and then started to do these post-game interviews where he was incredibly condescending to the fans, treating them as if they didn't know baseball and he was teaching them the game. Those didn't come off well when you're 5-10 with an ERA at 5.5. So
I
he's not well liked in the annals of Angels baseball. So, any others?
had Alex Johnson for them.
Oh, yes.
He clashed with management quite a bit, and one of the most controversial players there for the 70-71 season. He was accused of faking injuries and loafing, leading to a suspension and a legal battle that exposed racial tensions between the team and MLB at large. So that's kind of a
Yes.
tool. He's kind of a
Yes.
tool.
He's one of my favorites, Brent, because if the game provided shade in the outfield, that's where Alex would station himself for the next batter.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand here in the shade.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We
he
had
was a tool. He's one of those guys, just like Milton Bradley. He went from team to team to team to team to team.
yeah.
So
Webby,
all right.
we got young players that they'll play the outfield when we're playing Saturday games, and they'll find the shade that the light pole is giving them. They can just barely fit under there, but
Yep.
this one streak, and then it'll move as the innings go on, and they
That
move
was
with the shade.
taught to them by Alex Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Any good Oakland A's honorable mentions?
Who another flash in the pan that was supposed to be the great thing? Todd Van Poppel.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, he was supposed to be the great phenom, and flared out. And surprisingly enough, looking him up, he was in the major leagues for over 10 years, but just bounced around. So, yeah. So he was supposed to be a sure thing fireballer out of college and never made it.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
I've got one here, but I don't remember this. Maybe you guys do. There was a journeyman outfielder, a left-handed hitter by the name of Matt Joyce.
Matt Joyce?
When it says here he was suspended for a slur directed at a group of fans during a home game. I don't remember this at all. And he was
Suspended.
that basically wrote him out of town.
Yeah.
This would have been in the 2010s sometime. No recollection. All right, we'll move
Not
on.
here.
Seattle Mariners. Any honorable mentions?
The Kingdom. What an awful place to play. I remember being there. It was ground balls bounced 30 feet over the infielder's head. It was playing there, just a shade of astroturf over concrete, and you could never hear the announcer because the echo was so friggin' bad. But it was a great relief when they tore that stupid thing down. But
I totally agree, Marty.
Yeah.
I think I told you guys the story of my dad and I went to a game at the Kingdom, and we came out and our car was gone. We were looking around the parking lot. Somebody had stolen our car.
Shit.
We were out there walking around trying to find it, and one of the security guards came up and he says, both sides of this stadium look the same. So we walked around to the other side, and there was our car. So I've never been a big fan of the Kingdom after that. Walking around for hours. The other one I thought might be interesting was Brett Boone.
Oh yeah.
Clearly a steroid user, having a monster couple of seasons in Seattle, and then disappearing from the home run, RBI, and batting average totals after that, when he found out they were testing for steroids more. He became a power hitter overnight, and I don't think the Seattle fans have really liked that. Any honorable mentions on the Texas Rangers?
You could, Billy Martin in that
Oh, yeah.
early.
You can put Billy Martin in there.
Billy Martin was, He was everything Billy Martin was known for in Texas and amplified a couple of levels. He was yeah,
Anybody?
angered the team, angered the management, angered the town. He really didn't ingratiate himself with anybody there.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then there's another one from one of our previous shows, because of course we keep talking about these guys that migrate through the leagues. But my good friend John Rocker appeared as
Oh
a
yeah.
Texas Ranger for a short period of time. He wasn't there long, but that did allow him to have a toxic clubhouse reputation before he was jettisoned from the team. So yeah.
Interesting.
So guys, we have done every division in baseball except for the American League Central. So we may do a show on that next week. We'll huddle and figure out if we'll finish off the villain series or leave it for a later date. But anything else to say, guys?
Thank you,
Thanks again
Almanac.
to our good friends at Almanac,
Yeah,
right?
Almanac.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Maybe an apology out of Teddy Bear for showing
Yeah,
up
I'm
late.
sorry I was late, guys.
All right. Yeah.
Something happened with my phone, and I had to patiently wait for it to straighten itself out.
All right. You're off the hook this time.
Ugh.
Just got to do some chores for us.
I was panicking.
Okay, gang. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific with another episode of Highlights from Lowlifes. All right, Robbie, play us out.
Highlights from
Get some
Lowlifes.
Oktoberfest in this.
Highlights